Hey Professor, this is Daniel Goodrum with my Sprint 9 update. Um, got sprites working for the most part. I went with a new class that game objects are derived from, so I did a drawable 2D class, almost the exact same as drawable. I created a new drawable 2D manager, and they have their own registration and deregistration commands. So the only thing that it shares with drawable is the attorney. It was just easier just to put it in there. It has its own like subclass where it's like draw 2D, draw 3D, but it's everything is standalone. For to get it to populate correctly, so it still just goes into my draw, scene manager draw, and then from there it goes to the scene level draw. Then the scene level draw processes all the 3D draw items, and then it processes all the 2D draw items. So if you look here in my sprite demo, all it's doing is rendering it in the draw 2D function, so that way they're always processed after all the 3D objects. So my sprite class, the default, it inputs a model, a shader, and the image, and then I did my own render function for it. You can set the location, rotation, scale it. You can change the default camera. Right now I have the camera, orthographic camera, orthogonal camera being created in the camera manager on default, and then it just has a get function. So here, when I create a sprite, I get the current scene's 2D camera, I create the sprite, I set the scaling, and then I set the world, and that's it. And then in here, some of the subclasses for render, I have it just render using the 2D camera, and changing locations, rotations, and all that stuff. I couldn't figure out how to set the origin of the sprite differently, so if you wanted it anchored in the corner vice the center, I'm not exactly sure how to go about that. Everything works fine. Over here you can see that here was all my original code before I implemented the sprite class, and then after I implemented the sprite class, it's pretty straightforward. So it's going to be my regular scene, and then you just got the sprite moving around. As you can see, it draws fine when it's over things, and it moves around with the camera and everything. So yeah, that works fine. My collision works, next scene, everything like that. No issues there. So yeah, when I changed it, all I added was got rid of all this code up here, and I was able to just create a new sprite, register the 2D registration, and update. And then so here for my update, I'm just having it so it changes the rotation and the location, and then it renders. As far as commenting goes, I'm pretty much commented everything. I think I have code snippets where they need to be, and some stuff that doesn't need to be. I need to change this so that it'll show up in on the Doxygen stuff, but I haven't even updated that yet, so I still have to update it after I submit this video. But yeah, everything this week is pretty straightforward. My documenting is pretty much done, I think, and my sprites work. So thank you very much.